Tonight, all petitions challenging election of Pastor Mono nullified by tribunal. Akwa Ibom governor's wife charges women to exhibit maternal maturity. Non-indigenous groups commend peaceful coexistence as state marks 36 years. Suspected dealers on illegal petroleum products arrested in Akwa Ibom State. Details in just a moment. A very good evening to you and welcome to AKBC 45 News at 8. I am Ufot Udokan. Now the news in detail. The Governorship Election Petition Tribunal sitting in a high court in New York Thursday nullified all petitions brought by the Akwa Ibom State governorship candidate of the All Progressive Congress APC, Mr. Akanimo Udofia, challenging the election of Pastor Moino of the People's Democratic Party PDP as winner of the March 18, 2023 elections. The APC governorship candidate, Mr. Udofia, sought for the disqualification of Pastor Moino, claiming that he presented forged documents to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, and also did not score the highest number of valid votes in the March 18, 2023 governorship elections, among other petitions. Responding in favor of Pastor Moino of the People's Democratic Party PDP, the tribunal, in its unanimous decision, ruled that the allegations of substantial non-compliance with electoral law in the conduct of the elections was not sufficiently proven by the petitioners in their cases. On the issue of the education qualification of the second respondent, the tribunal maintained that the Supreme Court had already determined that Pastor Mono was the authentic owner of the WAEC certificates he submitted to INEC. The APC Akanimo Udofia's petition, according to the tribunal, lacked merit, as the petitioner was not able to establish one polling unit in which there was non-compliance with electoral law in the March 18 governorship elections. Women have been told to exhibit maturity in handling responsibilities in their care. The governor's wife, Pastor Patience Umoino, said this during the September edition of the Akwa Ibom State Women Monthly Prayer Meeting on the theme, Lo, I am with you always. The prayer took place at Banquet Hall of the Government House, Uyo. Margaret Bassi reports. We bring you details of that report in the course of the bulletin. The leadership of the Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC) and the Trade Union Congress (TUC) will commence an indefinite strike on Tuesday, October 3. This followed a joint press briefing held by leadership of the unions in Abuja, the nation's capital, on Tuesday, September 26. The union also asked their state chapters to mobilize for protests across the country. Meanwhile, the NLC has slammed the organized private sector (OPS) over its position to a nationwide strike on the grounds that the economy cannot withstand country's industrial action now. It said that the OPS was opposing the strike because it wanted to continue paying slaves' wages to workers. And as Akwa Ibom continues to celebrate her 36th anniversary, non-indigenous residing in Akwa Ibom State have expressed their appreciation to the government and people of the state for the peaceful environment for the joy enjoyed in the state. The report.
For Alhaji Mohammed Mijinyawa, Secretary of the Hausa community in Akwa Ibom State, the creation of Akwa Ibom State 36 years ago is still fresh in his memory. Alhaji Mijinyawa recounted the peace and cooperation that the Hausa community has enjoyed in the state, pledging to do his best to ensure that no criminal elements from the northern states are allowed to settle in the state.
I remember because I went to collect my student money, because you should have to go to the money. That I don't know what they are not. Just to tell me, you should have to go to the money. That was the day they are going to look at them to pray for the progress of Akwa Ibom. You know, Akwa Ibom is progressing in the fast lane. So we are praying to the opening for Akwa Ibom as a state and the people of Akwa Ibom. And we that are also doing business here, God will make us to prosper, succeed in whatever we are doing. That is why we are celebrating. What I love most about Akwa Ibom is the level playing ground for everybody. We love the peace in Akwa Ibom. We don't allow anybody that we cannot account for.
The youth leader of Hausa community in Akwa Ibom State, Alhaji Umar Aliu, who hails from Taraba State, says Akwa Ibom as his first home because of the benefits of the conducive environment they enjoy in the state over the years. Chief Kasmia Jonathan, a businessman from Enugu State, acknowledges the developmental strides of the past and present administrations and prayed for Akwa Ibom indigene to become the president of Nigeria soon. Engineer Ganiu Ayodele, a banker from Ekiti State, said that despite his initial fears, his stay in Akwa Ibom has given him the opportunity to live and work with some of the best people on earth. He prays that his employers would keep him longer in Akwa Ibom to enjoy the culinary prowess of Akwa Ibom people.
The people are very nice, they are very kind, they are the kind of people that welcome the strangers. Even the church that I worship, a lot of Akwa Ibom people, they are very nice. Even my office, I think I have about 70% of them that I'm working with, they are very nice. Akwa Ibomites are very nice. I'm not a politician, but I think Umoino is the right choice. He look matured. I've listened to some of his interview, the way he talks, and what he's doing. I think he's a father. Truly, he's a pastor. They are very good in cooking. We have varieties of stew. We have atama, pedeka, hekon, afan. We have white soup. The best apple to white soup.
All respondents express appreciation to the government of the state for extending the recent palliatives to their communities and prayed God to bless the state and her people. Blessing is Sonyo. AKBC News.
We'll take a break here, and when we return, suspected dealers on illegal petroleum products arrested in Akwa Ibom State. Don't go away.
There are different ways to say thank you to moms. The artistic way, the foodie way, the romantic way, the creative way. Now you can can thank your mum with a trip to Dubai when you buy 3 crowns milk worth 2,000 naira. Next, write a note to say thank you to mum. Post it on 3crowns.com.ng and she could be one of the lucky winners to Dubai. 3 crowns milk. Healthy mums, happy families.
This is home, where we belong. The place where life is beautiful. The peaceful ambience we enjoy when we live together in unity and love. It's only man, you know. We go stand together, we go make them better. We be brothers and sisters, no matter where we be. It's only man, you know. No matter where we be, we are one. Let's live together in peace and harmony.
Welcome back to the news. The Akwa Ibom State Command of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps says it has arrested 4 suspects and impounded 2 trucks for criminal conspiracy and adulteration of 75,000 liters of petroleum products in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. The suspects were arrested by men of the Anti-Vandal Squad of the Corps on Monday, September 25, 2023, following sustained intelligence in Uyo. Crime reporter Etienne Iba reports.
Briefing newsmen at its exhibit yard in Uyo, the Akwa Ibom State Commandant of NSCDC, Yemi Oluwade, said the suspects were rounded up in a filling station in Uyo while trying to mix dual-purpose kerosene, popularly known as kerosene, with marine diesel oil to produce automotive gas oil, popularly known as diesel, with chemical substance known as dissolver.
A team of anti-vandal went out. They arrested 2 trucks in a fuel station where they are trying to blend 2 products to make it an halogen. The first truck contains 45 liters of suspected DPP, and the other one contains 30,000 liters of marine diesel oil called MDO.
Commandant Oluwade listed materials impounded to include 2 trucks with registration number River State RGM 228XB and Delta State UGH 62XB, 1326 jerrycans containing chemical dissolver, 4 lengths of plastic hose, 2 pumping machines, 1 generator, 1 electric pump, and 2 flow meters.
Other items recovered at the site were 13 number of 25 liters dissolver chemical, 4 number of plastic hoses, 2 pumping machines, 1 generator, 1 electric pump, 2 flow meters. All these things are now in our own custody, and the investigation is still ongoing.
He affirmed that the Corps will not relent in its efforts against all acts of economic sabotage in the extractive industry, therefore warned vandals to seek legitimate means of livelihood or relocate out of Akwa Ibom State, as it will no longer be a safe haven for illegal bunkering and adulteration of petroleum products.
I would like to advise them and other criminals that are still doing this, that they should stop it and look for a legitimate business to do. We that are agents of security are advising that the remaining criminals in Akwa Ibom should please find their level, because we are still on their tail and we will not relent until all these things are reduced in Akwa Ibom State.
He stated the readiness of Mr. Ahmed Audi-led Civil Defense Corps in the country in the fight against oil theft, which has robbed government of enormous revenue, and enjoined traditional institutions, community-based organizations, and youth to partner the Corps by giving intelligence to work to reduce the menace in the state. The suspects, he said, will be charged to court as soon as investigations are concluded. Etieno Ibanga, AKBC News.
We will take another break here.
This is where we belong. The place where life is beautiful. The peaceful ambience we enjoy when we live together in unity and love. It's a man, you know. We go stand together, we go make up better. We be brothers and sisters, no matter where we be. You know, it's all about you know. No matter where we be, we are one. Let's live together in peace and harmony.
Now back to our earlier report on women's meeting. Women have been told to exhibit maturity in handling responsibilities in their care. The governor's wife, Patience Umoino, said this during the September edition of the Akwa Ibom State Women Monthly Prayer Meeting on the theme, Lo, I am with you always. The prayer took place at the banquet hall of the government house, Uyo. Margaret Bassi reports.
Pastor Patience Umoino charged the women not to be afraid of the terror of the enemies, but to exhibit godly virtues embedded in them at all times in order to conquer every evil. Pastor Eno, who said that September is a remarkable month of blessings, reminded the women that God has fortified them with power to trample on principalities and powers, as such, the right to possess their possessions. She said for 36 years of Akwa Ibom State as a state, God has been faithful to the women, charging them to always exhibit a heart of gratitude.
You will be surprised at yourself. But God is telling you today that you have authority, you have power to dominate upon everything. Everything will dominate here. Then God is saying, "Hold on." At the time, you are person you will know. What is the person you will know? What is the person you will know? What is the person you will know?
In an exhortation on the topic, "You are not alone, God is with you," Evangelist Mfon Israel assured the congregation that Jesus is always present as a light, defender, helper, sustainer, healer, and a deliverer from snares of destruction. Evangelist Israel reminded the congregation to know their right standing with God, that when a man stands with God, he can never be intimidated or destroyed by the arrows of darkness. She assured them to be conscious that God is always with them.
It's a different Daniel in the lion's den. It's a different between you two men. In the very forest, Jesus was the first man in the fire. He was prepared to deliver them. He's going to teach you in whatever you're going to do. He's going to teach you as women how to train your children. He's going to teach you how to build your home. He's going to teach you. Maybe you don't know what to do. God will teach you. Exactly what he will teach you.
In Intercessory prayers were offered to God for continuous peace in Akwa Ibom State, her leaders, economic growth and prosperity. The service featured testimonies, praise and worship, thanksgiving, hymns, rendition by Ibom a cappella. Basi, AKBC News.
Religion over the years has played a vital role in shaping moral values of Akwa Ibom people, predominantly Christians. The state has witnessed several leadership whose disposition reflects the importance of the God factor. People consider this has contributed positively to the development of the state over the years, as over the past 36 years of its creation. Messi Kere reports.
In Akwa Ibom State, Sundays as well as other weekdays will always witness Christian worshippers troop to their various churches to worship God and hold other activities. Many clerics, including a former state chairman of the Christian Association of Nigeria, Reverend Ndwesu Ekwere, says this lifestyle has come to stay.
Akwa Ibom State is a state named after God. A lot of people like calling Akwa Ibom State Akwa Ibom State. And God has so given us governors that at every point they lead the state to God at all points. The church leaders have always been coming together, leading the state, praying and making sure the state is very godly. So one can freely say that Akwa Ibom State, in fact, Akwa Ibom State is a church. That's the summary.
Various administrations in the state, including that of Governor Umoino, usually lead Akwa Ibom people to corporate worship in commemoration of anniversaries and other activities. Corporate monthly prayer sessions are also held regularly by the state government and even the office of the First Lady, all in a bid to commit the state to God in prayers.
It is Jehovah Ebenezer. He does not send you on an errand and stay away from you. I came here by grace, and I know that grace will see me.
God hears the prayers of women more. Even if I don't get it's God of us. Amen.
Another religious feature in the state, aside the presence of churches in every nook and cranny, is the presence of various religious institutions like the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, Fathers of Faith, among others. Reverend Ndwesu Ekwere says these institutions help in shaping the spiritual stance of the state.
These ones, individually and as a group, they will join hands together and at times call prayers, do crusades.
For the state to enjoy God's benevolence always, clerics in the state say the leaders ought to be God-fearing and must humble themselves to pray.
People should focus on God. They should know that He's the author and the finisher of everything. So the state will be good for it. Governor Mono is a pastor already, and everybody knows. And you can't expect anything less than the God factor in him, which is actually displayed everywhere.
Mercy Ekere, AKBC News.
It was a joyful scene as families and friends of Pastor Ekpedeme Jackson of Ikodesen Apantuen Pine local government area accompanied him to Obibiono in Ibionibon local government area to witness the exchange of marital vows between Pastor Ekpedeme Jackson of Mparinin local government area and his heartthrob former niece Abasi Freke Wenebon of Ibionibon local government area. The wedding ceremony took place at the Mennonite Church Nigeria, Obi Ibionibon, diocesan headquarters, Obi Ibionibon local government area. Esther Umoren completes the story.
In the wedding discourse, the national president, Mennonite Church Nigeria, Bishop Umo Abasi, drew his exhortation from Ephesians chapter 5 verse 23, where he explained the mystery in marriage, describing the husband as the master of the house, whose headship should attract full submission of the wife. He stressed that marriage is an institution that requires mutual support of both husbands and wives in order to succeed. The events featured exchange of marital vows, choral renditions, cutting of the wedding cake, signing of marriage certificates, advice, and dance by the couple. The newly-wedded has this to say. Esther Omore, AKBC News.
A fresh graduate of chemistry education from Kogi State University, identified as Joel Felix Okoe, has died the same day he defended his graduation projects. It was gathered that Joel Felix went viral after photos of deceased prostration for his father in appreciation of the sacrifice he made for his education after writing his final paper on 12 September surfaced on social media. The report added that the 24-year-old fresh graduate and his friend had traveled to Yale in the Kenya local government area of Kogi State when they ran into a herd of cows, and one of the animals attacked them, which landed the duo in the hospital. The friend, who sustained severe injury, was since discharged from the hospital, but that was not enough. That was not the same for Joel Felix, who died after 3 days. May soul rest in peace. And now sports. Team Akwa Ibom at the ongoing youth games in Asaba Delta State struck gold in the mixed shooting and para-athlete sports. The feat was enhanced by a bronze medal. Also, Orange team climbed the medal table. The director of sports, Elder Ifyokdov, in an interview with sport reporter Justice Udoso, expressed satisfaction with the performance of each player and athletes, especially as most of them were experiencing the competition for the first time. Elder Dov, while appreciating Governor Omoeno for approving the participation of the youths in the competition, expressed hope that with the qualification of many teams Akwa Ibom players to the finals of their sport, there was great hope that the medal haul will be increased. And now to end the news, we'll take the recap. The Governorship Election Petition Tribunal sitting in a high court in Uyo Thursday nullified all petitions brought by the Akwa Ibom State governorship candidates of the All Progressive Congress (APC), Mr. Ekanemo Odofia, challenging the election of Pastor Mano of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) as winner of the March 18, 2023 elections. Women have been told to exhibit maturity in handling responsibilities in their care. The governor's wife, Pastor Patience Umwano, said this during the September edition of the Akwa Ibom State Women's Monthly Prayer Meeting. As Akwa Ibom continued to celebrate her 36th anniversary, non-indigenes residing in Akwa Ibom State have expressed their appreciation to the government and people of the state for the peaceful environment they enjoyed in the state. The Akwa Ibom State Command of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps says it has arrested 4 suspects and impounded 2 trucks for criminal conspiracy and adulteration of petroleum products in Uyo. That's our news. Thanks for staying with us. Good night.